Okay, now I would like to explain about the construction of DC generator. So first one, DC generator. So DC generator, so it is an electrical device so which converts mechanical energy into DC electrical energy. Okay, this is generator symbol. In this case the input energy is mechanical energy and finally the output is DC electrical energy. So next one, DC motor. Okay, this is motor symbol. So DC motor is electric device so which converts DC electrical energy into mechanical energy. In case of motor, the input is DC electrical energy and output is mechanical energy. Okay, next the operating principle of DC generator. Okay, DC generator principle of operation. Okay, DC generator operating principle is the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay, Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So DC generator converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. So when a conductor move in a magnetic field in such a way that the conductor cuts across a magnetic flux of lines and EMF produces in a generator or conductor, and it is defined by Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and this EMF causes current to flow if the conductor circuit is closed. Okay, the DC generator operating principle is the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. According to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, whenever there exists rate of change of flux linkages, an EMF is induced across the conductor. So if there exists rate of change of flux linkages, an EMF induced across the conductor. So to create rate of change of flux linkages, in case of DC generator, so we are placing a rotating conductor in a constant magnetic field. If a rotating conductor placed in a constant magnetic field, the conductor cuts the magnetic flux lines. Then there exists rate of change of flux linkages. So finally an EMF is induced across the conductor. If we provide a closed path, the current flows through the conductor. In case of DC generator, the generated EMF is called dynamically induced EMF. Dynamically induced EMF. So dynamically induced EMF means if we produce EMF by using rotating parts, then EMF is called dynamically induced EMF. In case of DC generator, the conductors are rotating in a magnetic field, so it is called dynamically induced EMF. But in case of transformers, so transformer is a static device. In transformer also electrical energy generated. So but transformer having only stationary parts. In case of transformer, the generated EMF is called statically induced EMF. But the generated EMF is called dynamically induced EMF. Okay, EMF means electromotive force. Electromotive force, it is also known as voltage or potential difference. So next is the direction of the dynamically induced EMF can be found by using Fleming's right hand rule. Fleming's right hand rule, it states that if we stretch our right hand, thumb, forefinger and middle finger mutually perpendicular to each other, and if forefinger pointed in the direction of the magnetic field and thumb pointed in the direction of the conductor rotation, then the middle finger indicates the direction of the dynamically induced EMF or current direction. Okay, if we stretch our right hand, thumb, forefinger and middle finger mutually perpendicular to each other, and if thumb represents the direction of the motion of the conductor or rotation of the conductor, the first finger or forefinger, cannot it is FORE, forefinger represents the magnetic field, then the second finger or middle finger represents the direction of the dynamically induced EMF or current direction. So by using the Fleming's right hand rule, so we can find the direction of the dynamically induced EMF. So next to find the magnitude of the dynamically induced EMF, we have to use the flux cutting rule. So according to flux cutting rule, the dynamically induced EMF value BLV sin theta. BLV sin theta. So B is magnetic flux density, L is active length of the conductor, V is velocity of the conductor, and theta is the angle difference between magnetic field and conductor rotation. So dynamically induced EMF equals to formula BLV sin theta, where theta is the angle difference between conductor motion and magnetic field. Okay, next the following are the basic requirements to be satisfied for generation of EMF. So the basic requirements to generate EMF are: first one, uniform magnetic field or constant magnetic field. So second one, system of conductors or set of conductors. So next third one, the relative motion between the magnetic field and conductors. So first magnetic field, okay, uniform magnetic field or constant magnetic field. So generally the magnetic fields we can produce by using permanent magnets or electromagnets. The permanent magnets are produces constant magnetic fields. So this is, which is also called as uniform magnetic field. So electromagnets produces the constant magnetic fields. Next one, time varying magnetic fields. If we connect the DC supply across the electromagnet, it produces the constant magnetic fields. If we connect AC supply across the electromagnets, which produces the time varying fields. In case of DC generator, we require only constant magnetic fields. So electromagnets with DC supply produces the constant magnetic fields. So generally for low rating DC generators, to produce magnetic field, permanent magnets are used. For high rating DC generators, for producing magnetic fields, electromagnets with DC supply is used. So next one, conductors. Okay. So generally these conductors are rotating in a magnetic field. It cuts the magnetic flux lines. There exists a rate of change of flux linkages. Finally, EMF induced across the conductor. So this conductor is made up of copper material or aluminum material. Copper material or aluminum material, so which are located in a construction, and that construction is called armature core. So next last one, relative motion. Okay. So relative motion means, so to create rate of change of flux linkages, so we have to create some relative motion between magnetic field and conductor. This relative motion can be created by using either prime mover or turbines or IC engines. So by using these three devices, any one of these three devices, if you rotate a conductor in a magnetic field, relative motion created between magnetic field and conductor. So finally EMF produced across the conductor. Okay, the construction details of DC machine. Okay, these are the main parts of the DC machine. Okay, DC machine means DC generator or DC motor. So the construction of DC generator and DC motor are same. Okay, just only operation is different. So construction of DC generators and DC motors are same. So first part, yoke, next rotor, next one stator, next field electromagnets, next one pole core and pole shoe, next brushes, next one shaft, next armature, coil, commutator and bearings. So this is a two-pole DC machine cross-section view. Here number of poles equals to 2. Okay, number of poles. One north pole is there, another one is south pole is there. It is a two-pole DC machine. Okay, see the parts. Here this is the field system. This is one magnetic pole. This is another magnetic pole. This combined is called field system. The purpose of field system to produce the magnetic flux in DC generator. This field system consists of three parts. So first one, pole core. Okay, up to this box it is called pole core. So next to this construction is called pole shoe. So next one, this is field winding. Okay, so pole core, next pole shoe, next one field winding. So next this outer frame is called yoke. So next one, so this is armature. This completely it is called armature. The armature having two parts. Okay, this part is called armature core. This total solid construction is called armature core. So next to these are slots. Okay, these are slots. It is divided into number of slots. So inside the slots, circle symbols are there. These are armature conductors. So generally in electrical department, the conductors are represented by circle symbols. Okay, so inside the slots, circle symbols are there. So which are armature conductors. So next to this middle part is called shaft. So next one, this construction, the circle construction is called commutator. So next this black rectangular boxes. Here one is there, another one here is there. So which are called brushes. Okay, these are the main parts of a DC machine. Okay, next this is 4-pole DC machine. 4-pole DC machine. Here number of poles equals to 4. One north pole, south pole, north pole and south pole. So total number of poles equals to 4. It is 4-pole DC machine. Okay, next this one. Okay, this construction is called pole core. This rectangle up to here it is called pole core. So next this is pole shoe. Okay, so next this is field winding. So each pole having pole core, pole shoe and field winding. So next this construction is commutator. So next this is called total outer frame. It is called yoke. So next this commutator is made up of number of segments. So each segment is called commutator segment. So next one, so which are called interpoles. So the interpoles are located midway of main poles. So number of poles equals to number of interpoles. Here first one, second one, third one, fourth one. So number of poles equals to 4, number of interpoles equals to 4. So next this construction, you know that pole shoe. So next this is armature core. Complete it is this one armature core. The armature core having slats. So outer surface having number of slats. Inside the slats circle symbols are there. That circle symbols means armature conductors. So which are armature conductors, and it is this construction armature core. So this mid part is shaft. So next practical DC machine. Okay, this is one practical DC machine. So see the parts. So first this outer frame is called yoke. So next this is field winding. So next it is completely armature, total armature. So armature outer surface having slats. Inside these slats the conductors are located. So these are conductors, armature conductors. So next one, okay, this construction. Okay, these are commutator segments. Total this circle part is called commutator. Okay, this is shaft. So next this is brush. The brushes are located on commutator. Okay, this is a brush, rectangular box. So next which are field poles. So first one, yoke. Okay, this is yoke. So the yoke acts as frame of the machine. It provides the mechanical support to internal parts of the DC machine, and it provides the low reluctance path for magnetic flux, and it is made up of high permeability material. So generally for small machines the yoke is made up of cast iron material, and for large machines the yoke is made up of cast steel or rolled steel material. Okay, for large DC machine yoke construction, for small DC machines this is the yoke construction. So the yoke provides the mechanical support to the internal parts of the DC generator or DC machine. So next one, field magnet or field system. So we know that the field system consists of 3 parts. So pole core, next one pole shoe, so next one field winding or field coils. So first one pole core. So this part up to this rectangular part. Rectangular part is called pole core or pole body. So it carries the field coils or field winding. So rectangular cross section, and this pole core having laminated construction. So this pole core is made up of number of laminations. So by using laminations we can reduce the eddy current losses, and it is fitted to yoke. Okay, this pole core is fitted to yoke. So next one, this is pole shoe. This bottom construction is called enlarged pole core, is called pole shoe. So it acts as support to field coils. It provides support to field coils, and it spreads magnetic flux produced by the electromagnets uniformly on armature surface. Okay, it produces or spreads the magnetic flux uniformly on armature. So pole core and pole shoe are laminated of annealed steel. So approximately thickness of each lamination 1 mm to 0.25 mm. So next third one, field coil. Field system third part, field coils, or it is called field winding or magnetizing coils or exciting coils. So by connecting electrical supply, these field coils produces the magnetic flux. So the number of poles depends on the speed of the armature and output of which the machine is designed. So next, generally the field winding connected to supply. So there are 2 methods for connecting supply to field windings. So first method, separately excitation. Second method, self excitation. So this complete around the pole core the field winding is located. Okay, field winding wound over the pole core. So field winding is made up of copper material. So next one, armature core. So complete this construction is called armature core. The armature core is made up of number of laminations. It is silicon steel. It is silicon steel material, and it is made up of number of laminations. By adding number of laminations, the armature core is prepared. So by using laminations we can avoid or we can decrease the eddy current losses. So by using silicon steel material, so we can decrease the hysteresis losses. Okay, by using silicon steel and laminations we can reduce the hysteresis and eddy current losses. So the armature core supports the armature winding. It means the armature winding owns an armature core. So next, to rotate the conductors in a magnetic field. So generally the armature outer periphery having number of slots, the armature conductors are located on the slots. So by rotating this armature core, conductors also rotates in magnetic field. Okay, the magnetic field is produced by the field system. So this armature core construction cylindrical or drum shaped. It is made up of high permeability silicon steel material. Laminations or stampings, so 0.5 mm thickness. So next, each stamping is separated from its neighboring one by thin varnish as insulation. So armature core is made up of number of laminations. Each lamination is separated by the insulation called varnish. So generally laminations are used to reduce the eddy current losses. So next to this field system and armature core separated by the small air gap, so that no rubbing between them. So next, high grade silicon steel used to reduce hysteresis losses and eddy current losses. So next one, ventilating ducts are provided to dissipate heat generated by the above losses. Okay, these are called these air holes. Armature core having holes. Okay, these holes are called ventilating ducts. So the purpose of this ventilating ducts to dissipate heat generated by the above losses. Okay, so for cooling purpose, air holes are provided on armature core. So next one, armature winding. So the armature winding located on the slots. Okay, these are called slots. The armature conductors are placed in the slots, and these armature conductors are insulated from each other. The armature conductors are made up of copper material or aluminum material. If armature core rotates in a magnetic field, armature conductors also rotates in a magnetic field, then an EMF is induced in armature conductors. Okay, armature winding. The armature winding is classified into two types. First one, lap winding. Second one, wave winding. Okay, armature winding types. Okay, first one, lap winding. So lap windings are used in machines designed for low voltage and high current applications. So armatures are constructed with large wear because of high current, so which are used in starter motor of almost all automobiles. So the windings of a lap wound armatures are connected in parallel. Okay, like this. Here number of conductors are connected in parallel connection, so which increases the current capacity, but voltage value maintains constant value. So next, in case of lap winding, the number of parallel paths. Okay, number of parallel paths in a lap winding equals to number of poles. So for example, if machine number of poles equals to 4, then in case of lap winding, the number of parallel paths equals to 4. Okay, so next one, wave winding. So these types of windings are used in machines designed for high voltage and low current. So lap winding used for high current, low voltage application. So wave windings are used in machines designed for high voltage and low current applications. So their windings are connected in series connection. Here more number of conductors are connected in series connection. In lap winding case, more number of combinations connected in parallel connection to increase the current rating. But in case of wave winding, to increase the voltage rating, so more number of combinations are connected in series. So in this case, the number of parallel paths equals to 2. Generally, the number of parallel paths is represented by capital A. So for wave winding, always the number of parallel paths equals to 2. Here number of parallel paths equals to 2. So but in case of lap winding, the number of parallel paths equals to number of poles. Okay, next one, commutator. So this is commutator. This construction is commutator construction. So it is made up of copper bars. Okay, copper bars segments. So insulated from each other by mica. Okay, the commutator is made up of copper segments and each segment is separated by the mica insulating material. So it is connected. Okay, it provides the connection between armature and external circuit. Okay, so it collects the current from the armature winding and it supplies to brushes. So brushes supplies to external circuit. So and also the commutator converts the AC supply into DC supply. So initially In conductors, the AC supply generated. So but in case of DC generator, the output must be DC supply. So by connecting these commutators, we can convert the generated AC supply into DC supply. So the purpose of the commutator, so it provides the connection between armature and external circuits, and also it converts the AC supply into DC supply. So it is also called as split rings. It is also called as split rings, and it is also called as mechanical rectifier. Okay, mechanical rectifier. It is made up of copper. Okay, next one. Okay, brushes, brush gear, shaft and bearings. Okay, bearings and brushes. So first brushes and brush gear. Okay, this complete, it is called brush box or brush holder. So inside this black color part is there, it is called brush. So generally the brushes are made up of carbon material or carbon graphite material or graphite material. So it is used to collect the current from the commutator and it supplies current to external load. So brushes collects the current from the commutator and it supplies to external load in case of generator. So next one, okay, shaft and bearings. Okay, shaft, it is a mechanical link between prime mover and armature. So next to bearings, so by using bearings, so free rotation is possible. Okay, next one, practical machine. Okay, this is DC machine construction, and practical DC machine. Okay, DC machine parts. So first one, this outer frame is called yoke. So it provides the mechanical support to internal parts of the machine. So next, this completely field system. So this field system consists of three parts. We know that pole core. So next pole shoe. Next one, winding. So this one, here one rectangle construction is there inside. So on that construction, the winding is wounded. Field winding is wounded. So that construction, rectangular construction, is called pole core. So next, this is pole shoe. So enlarged pole core construction. It is like a shoe. So that's why it is called pole shoe. So next one, this is field winding. So field winding is wounded on pole core. So the purpose of this, here number of poles equals to 4. First one, second one, third one and fourth one. Number of poles equals to 4. So by using field winding, we can produce the magnetic field. So by connecting DC supply to these windings, so we can produce the magnetic field inside the generator. So next one, so this is armature. So this armature is placed in this place. Okay, so inside some space is there. In that space, the armature core is fixed. So we know that, so already field system produces the magnetic field. So next, by using prime mover, if you rotate this construction, this armature construction inside that magnetic field, so finally in armature conductors, so which are armature conductors or armature coils. So in this coil, the EMF is generated. Okay, this complete setup is armature. Okay, here this is armature core. So next, this is armature conductors or coil or armature winding. Okay, this is armature bearing. So next one, insulation. So insulation provided between conductors. So next, this is commutator. The commutator is made up of number of copper segments, and each copper segment is separated by the insulating material. Okay, next, this is shaft. So by using this shaft, by using some prime movers or turbines or IC engines, we can rotate this armature inside the magnetic field. Okay, see here. Okay, this is rotor. Okay, armature core, armature winding. So next, this construction, this black color part is there. So inside the holder, so this is called brush holder, and inside part is called brush. This brush is made up of carbon material or graphite material or carbon graphite material. Okay, finally we can say that the main parts of DC generator or DC machine is field system, armature system, so commutators and brushes. So field system produces the constant magnetic field inside the generator. So next one, the armature. If you rotate the armature inside this magnetic field, so the EMF is induced across the armature winding. This induced EMF, AC EMF, So by using commutator we can convert this AC EMF or AC voltage into DC voltage. So next one, so this converted DC voltage or DC supply collected from the commutator, collected by the brushes from the commutator, and it supplies to external load. And last one, the yoke. So yoke is frame of DC generator. So it provides the mechanical support to internal parts of the DC generator.